Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 at 6.
Most of Oregon's wildfires are human-caused and preventable. More than 70% of Oregon's wildfires are human-caused, according to the state of Oregon. With fire season here in Jackson and Josephine counties and just 3 days away for Curry, Klamath, and Lake counties, we are tracking the consequences of past wildfires. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Haley Gravitt. We'll talk about the restrictions that come with the approaching fire season. But first, NewsWatch 12's Brinkley Hill is looking into how the Oregon Department of Forestry holds people financially accountable for those fires.
In Oregon, there are lightning-caused fires, and everything else is human-caused.
It's usually pretty quick for them to determine if it was lightning-caused.
If a fire is human-caused and a person is found responsible, they can be charged criminally or be responsible for repaying the cost of fire suppression efforts.
It's a large sliding scale, but the average cost of a fire in Oregon is $300,000.
The best thing you can do to avoid one of these hefty fines is to follow all fire restrictions. Pile burns, campfires, and fireworks are not worth the cost of a wildfire.
If you are the responsible party, you may also be responsible for any damages that happen to your neighbor's property, and that gets added on to just what we're trying to collect. So it can rack up really quickly.
In 2018, there was a fire in southwestern Oregon, and it cost $19,000 to put out. That responsible party is still on a payment plan with the state. And you might remember the Moe Creek fire in 2019. It cost $5,000 to put out, and that responsible party is still in restitution with ODF. And sometimes these larger fires do take longer to go through this legal process. So the Slater fire in 2020, it's taken 5 years for the state to charge the responsible party the $1.8 million of costs.
In cases of debris burns, they're held accountable majority of the time.
During fire season, you can never be too careful, but NewsWatch 12 will always keep you updated with the latest regulations and tips to prevent wildfires. From Medford, I'm Brinkley Hill.
Now you can head to KDRB.com to find more information on the investigation process for wildfires in Oregon and what fires are in the process of being paid for. Over into Klamath and Lake counties, fire season will officially begin this Friday at a moderate fire level. Right now we're taking a live look out at Chiloquin, just 15 miles from where the telephone fire continues to burn at 43 acres today. South Central Oregon Fire Management Partnership says that restrictions apply to all private, county, and state wildlands for these counties, including national parks and forests. So those restrictions will apply for Crater Lake National Park. All burning without a permit will be prohibited. For industrial fire precautions, fire extinguishers must be in all vehicles and with any chainsaws on site. Power equipment must be monitored for 1 hour after shutdown for the day. Smoking while working in or traveling through forest operation areas is also prohibited. And fire season also beginning Friday in Curry County. The fire danger will begin at low. This means campfires are only allowed with landowner approval at designated locations. Sky lanterns, exploding targets, and fireworks are all prohibited on public lands. Motor vehicles, including motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles, must stay on improved roads or trail systems. Now, over in Siskiyou County, your evacuation zone may have changed after emergency services and fire agencies have updated the zoning map. Not only have some zone boundaries been adjusted, some have split and some have different prefixes. For example, Montague zones are no longer SIS. They are now listed as MTG. Greenview receiving a new prefix, which is GVW. Those changes were made to make evacuation information clearer, faster, and more community specific. So to look up your zone, you can head to our website, kdrb.com. Now let's check in with Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Matt Hoffman to give us a look at our conditions tonight. Matt.
Well, very quiet out there right now. Apart from the wind, it is a bit breezy out there, but lots of sunshine, pleasant temperatures this hour. Take a look at current readings. 81 degrees right now in Grants Pass and Medford. We're sitting at 75 degrees in Klamath Falls, 70 in Lakeview. It's 75 in Mount Shasta. We're in the 60s up in Chemulta and Christmas Valley. And warm in Brookings again today thanks to the Checo effect. 76 degrees, 61 up the road in Gold Beach. Winds quite breezy throughout southern Oregon and northern California, but some of the stronger gusts definitely at the coast, where we're seeing gusts in between 30 to 40 miles per hour. Inland winds will diminish tonight. We'll see some still fairly cool temperatures, down to 51 in Medford, 42 degrees tonight in Klamath Falls. Tomorrow, mainly sunny skies for most of the region. It's going to be another breezy afternoon with gustier winds at the coast. Warm and pleasant afternoon. High temperatures running just a little bit above average for this time of the year, up to 82 in Medford, 81 in Grants Pass, as well as Wairika. We'll top out around 78 in Klamath Falls and 74 degrees in Brookings. But we're going to heat things up later this week, into this weekend. We'll talk about exactly how hot it's going to get coming up in just a bit. Haley.
Matt, thank you. At New at 6 tonight, the Oregon House of Representatives passed Senate Bill 777A today, sending the bill now to the governor. The bill strengthens Oregon's wolf depredation compensation program by allowing more accurate and fair compensation based on confirmed and probable wolf kills. It also requires counties to allocate at least 50% of grant funds towards non-lethal deterrence methods such as fencing and lighting. The bill now heading to Governor Tina Kotek's desk. Also new at 6, Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife urging people to leave wild fawns alone after at least 6 people tried to rescue fawns that did not need rescuing this week. ODFW says deer do not abandon their fawns. They hide them while they are finding food for them. So if you come across a fawn on their own, it is best to leave them alone. Removing the fawn from the wild is not only illegal, it may also reduce its chances of survival to 0. So keep your distance. Call ODFW's office if you believe an animal needs help. And as Southern Oregon continues to attempt to recover salmon populations, one group is working in the heart of the local river system. Rocky Walker is sharing how the Rogue River Watershed Council is working to address issues in the local habitat.
Water flows through the Southern Oregon River system, while just below the surface, fish population rely on the habitat for survival. The Rogue River Watershed Council is working to restore these rivers and make them ideal for the migration of these fish.
What we're trying to do in these smaller tributaries is make sure that there's habitat, that there's spawning gravels, that the water quality is good, that it's cold, and trying to keep all of these factors in play.
Previous generation concerns for property and infrastructure removed much of the large wood from flowing rivers. One of the projects being done on Elk Creek puts logs back into the water, making deep gravel wells for fish spawning, connecting local streams, and improving water quality in the riverways. And the Elk Creek project isn't just for fish populations, but for fire resiliency. Right here, I have a demonstration showing 2 sides of what it could look like. Currently, as the river flows, these cotton balls are trees right alongside the waterways. While they're right next to it, they could still easily catch flames, spreading fire, especially during our high fire seasons. But the logs that they're adding into the waterway will create a damming effect. What that'll do is make a floodplain along the sides of the riverbed. So these trees that would otherwise be catching fire wouldn't be able to.
For that ribbon of kind of green vegetation along a creek or a stream, those don't burn as hot when they're wet and healthy.
And the fire mitigation work doesn't end there.
What we do in these projects when we address the riparian rehabilitation is removing that noxious weed component, removing those blackberries, let native plants kind of reseed and sprout and come back and grow.
To learn about more projects they're working on, head to our website. I'm Rocky Walker reporting.
And happening now, Jake Layer Dental is partnering with the Salvation Army, hosting a food clinic at his dental office. The campaign is called Bright Smiles, Full Plates. This comes as 1 in 6 children in the area are facing food insecurities. People who donate a bag full of food will receive a free teeth whitening kit.
Drives like this are really important for us to be able to help those children, help those families, because no one should go to bed on an empty stomach.
I thought this is a great way to meet more people and help the community at the same time.
Throughout June, the dental clinic will be collecting canned foods and shelf-stable foods. So this is the first time that the clinic is hosting this food drive. And it's a beautiful Tuesday for some state playoff action. We've got 4 softball and baseball teams from our region looking to advance. Joining us live from Lithia and Driveway Fields is NewsWatch 12 Sports' Luke Doughton. Luke, a big day, and you've got to look at the action for us.
Yeah, Haley, just about a half hour ago, Cascade Christian wrapped up their semifinal game, pulling out a gritty win against Warrington 3-2. So now they play this Saturday at PK Park. They're waiting for the result of the other semifinal, but also North Medford having a huge third inning in their softball semifinal against McMinnville. It's 9-2 right now in the bottom of the 6th. That means the Black Tornado just need 3 more outs, and they're heading to their final. We'll have the updates for both of these games. Plus, there's also Henley playing Marist Catholic in the 4A state baseball semifinal, and Crater and Thurston playing in the 5A state softball semifinal. The updates coming up later tonight. Now, live in Medford, I'm Luke Doughton.
Luke, thank you. And you are taking a live look out at Harry and David Field, where the Medford Rogues will be throwing their first pitch at 6:30 tonight. If you can't make it to the game, you can catch the live stream on our sports page on kdrv.com. We'll be sharing that live stream for all of the games throughout the season, so be sure to tune in with us. The Palm Foundation in Alba Park has water flowing again after more than 2 decades. With the structure featuring a boy and 2 dogs, the statue is designed for people and pets alike. The restoration costs more than $42,000 and was funded by local and state marijuana tax revenue. While the main foundation is now operational, the drinking fountain is still undergoing some repairs.